what do you feel like what's the value to the customer of receiving this document at the front end? Like what would you feel if contractor comes over, does the sales process? Hey, I'm ready to talk whenever you have questions, but this is our ultimate buyer's guide and it covers everything you could ever think about with our business. And if you find something that's not covered in there, if you can't find something that's not covered, let me know so I can add it to it. You know, I mean, what is the sentiment that you have as the customer?
Well, my thoughts and is one word, and this word applies to everything in business, whether you're dealing with customers, employees, or what, clarity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you can hand something to like a contract that has details and it's very clear and it's not clear when the problem arises to the customer didn't remember that, but you have the document
Yeah.
and you can say, well, this is what it says. You know, we have to have a signed change order before we do any work. I can just think of example after example where people did changes without a change order or a process and wound up getting stiffed for it. Well, I didn't understand that, or you said. I know that's a particular example out of here, but that's the kind of clarity that can save big bucks in the end and big misunderstanding and a sour experience with a customer. So
Yeah.
clarity is the biggest thing. Just
Yeah.
this is how it works.
I think it's clear, but it's also something that can reach so many different parts of your interactions with customers on the sales side, on the marketing side, on the service side. Anytime you're interacting with someone external, you're going to be able to use this document for marketing purposes, especially. You can pull anything out of this and turn it into some sort of
Right.
marketing asset. But then also on the sales side, if you have this document in place and you need to hire a salesperson, they can study this front to back and be able to do any kind of sales job for you. You know, they can sell a job and answer questions for a customer pretty efficiently. And then on the service side, you have when entering customer support, they can start. There's probably other things that they need, but this is a great starting point for understanding how things work. So
Right.
it's more than just a guide for the customer. It's a guide for you internally, for you and your team, and can dictate a lot of things that go on in your company. And I think it's a huge value. One thing I will say that I thought was really interesting, can't remember the name of this company. It was a foundation repair company in Nebraska, maybe. We were talking about Nebraska earlier. They've come back up. But they have a document similar to this, and they don't call it Ultimate Buyer's Guide, but it's something very similar, and it's printed out that they hand out to customers. It's thick, but before they will go on go to the customer's home, before they go to the customer's home for a meeting, the customer will have had to watch a video that's 30 minutes long, mandatory. And the video basically covers almost everything inside the Ultimate Buyer's Guide. Not everything, but the really important stuff, especially on setting expectations. And it has increased their conversion rate like 5x because they're only going to meetings that are qualified meetings. If somebody hasn't watched that video, they're not going to waste their time going in to try to sell the job. But if they've watched that video, they know it's the right type of meeting. But then also the person's prepped to feel so much more comfortable working with them because they've spent 30 minutes already with them and they understand, they have the clear expectations going into it. And so having something like this in place allows you to go and record that 30-minute video that educates the person exactly on what they're about to step into and gives you the option to be so much more professional and confident and clear, and just have a much better conversion rate with that customer.